Oh.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach Blank. All right, we're here with League of Legends' first game of the spring season. You see Blaine's team on the blue side for game one. They have Yorick top, Kayn jungle, Orianna mid, Kindred AD carry, and a Karma support. And then on the red side, you have Eden Prairie. They have a Sylas top, a looks like maybe Ziggs mid, a Akshan AD carry, and potentially a Warwick jungle, it looks like. So, this is game one of a two-game series, and it's the first game of the season, so it's really exciting to see both of these teams kind of match up and see how they look comparatively. For the start of the game, it looks like nothing crazy really happened on level 1, a few defensive wards across the map, but pretty much a general start. Both junglers are deciding to start near their bot lane with a leash, so I would imagine they're either both going to path towards their topside camps as a full clear, or potentially 3 camp clearing and then tanking the bottom lane. We're first focused on mid lane with Sylas and Orianna. This matchup, usually Orianna has the early push in the early levels, but Sylas can trade some of his HP in order to kind of push the Raven. It looks more or less like that lane is going fairly even. Bot lane is a little bit interesting, as it is a 2v1 with the Kindred combo versus the Ziggs. We will see how that ends up playing out, as well as the Akshan top versus the Yorick. For most of these kind of top lane ranged into melee matchups, the ranged character will usually bully them pretty hard in the early stages of the game, and then towards the later portions, the melee character usually gets a bit of the upper hand. Looks like, as expected, Kayn kind of cleared his bottom 3 camps and is now pathing towards his top side in a more standard full clear, but Warwick decides to do it a little bit differently. He clears his 3 bot side camps, and now he looks like he's looking for a bot lane gank. Now here comes Warwick. Both of them are positioning for this gank pretty well. Warwick 2 zombies heading back pretty effectively, and exhaust goes down, ignites, and that is first blood for Blaine. Karma picking up that kill, and they also get the flash from Ziggs. So pretty effective defense from Blaine in order to pick up first blood off of the gank from Warwick. Warwick will then more likely respawn and go towards topside again to clear some of his camps. But this definitely gives Blaine a pretty good advantage in the bot lane. Top lane, unfortunately, is taking a bit of a hefty trade. Yorick is down a little bit of HP, gets ignited. Hopefully can catch this wave and then maybe take a base and go back top. But it looks like Kayn's coming in for a gank to try to let Yorick catch this minion wave and not die and lose all of these minions. Pretty action-packed early game to start off. Looks like Kayn will go down to that topside scuttle, potentially a fight between both of the junglers over the topside scuttle. Both of them are positioning for it, both of them really want it. Unfortunately, Akshan has the first rotation to help defend Warwick and get the scuttle, but it does look like it'll be a full 3v3. Flash is blown from both top laners. It looks like Yorick might go down. Ooh, but Dale just barely gets out of there. Yep. And Warwick will end up getting that topside scuttle. Now back in the bot lane. There's Karma beating up on the Ziggs a little bit and pushing him all the way in, not allowing him to get any of that CS. Mid lane, Orianna's a little bit low on mana, but she does have the potential to potentially push out this wave, get a base. She also has TP to come back to the lane whenever she chooses. Warwick now goes back to his top Krugs and continues farming his top side of the map, while Kayn took a base and now looks like he's coming back towards bottom for potentially a gank or potentially to maybe start Dragon. Akshan top ends up taking a base. He returns back, possibly buys some items, pads back top. He does not have TP in this scenario, so he will be forced to walk all the way back, whereas Dale or Yorick was able to teleport back to top lane and catch most of those minions. If you look at the CS right now, Kindred is at 30, which is pretty good at this point in the game. Ziggs is about half with 16. Orianna and Sylas are about even, with Orianna doing 46 and Sylas having 25. And then top lane Yorick does have quite a bit of CS lead just because of that teleport usage. So he's at 29 and his lane opponent Akshan is at 18. Both of the junglers are pretty even on farm at this point in the game. Both rocking a solid 32 and 31, so just about on the Karma roams mid to try to defend Orianna from the Sylas all-in, but Sylas does end up taking down the Karma, so that is a kill over to Eden Prairie. Kane is now mid, but he's fighting 1v1 with Warwick. Sylas flashes in and gets Kane's flash. That's a trade of flashes from the mid laner and the jungler, and it looks like Sylas will end up pushing out that wave and communicating a recall.
A little longer than rest.
Top lane pretty standard. Yorick's farming all the creeps, stacks up his passive, and then throws his E for his creeps to spawn and jump at the opponent. Now it looks like Warwick has started, potentially starting up the dragon, or maybe just clearing some wards. Okay, Kindred is now marked Warwick, so if he kills him, he will get a stack. There's a root coming in from the Karma, and some good damage from the Karma. A flash, and then a flash to follow, and another kill for Blaine. That is a kill plus a stack onto the Kindred. That is super nice. Ziggs returns bot to catch some of the minion wave, make sure he doesn't miss any of that experience. Otherwise, the rest of the lanes are playing pretty even at the moment. Alright. Now we've reached a bit of a low state now, with Warwick coming back onto the map. He's potentially looking for a top lane gank here within this game. Looks like he is. Blocked Akshan in with the cage. Kane is there. And it looks like it will be real nice to be Orianna blows mid, ultimate mid on Sylas. This looks like it's going to be pretty close. Orianna's trying to stand in the knees to deal back some damage. Sylas misses his E. And they are both going to walk away at very low HP. Ziggs ends up taking a recall bottom, and Warwick starts the dragon solo. Meanwhile, Yorick is taking some turret plates top with the Maiden and Demolish. He gets at least one turret plate for himself, potentially another one if he continues to push. Warwick is still soloing that Drake. That early Drake for junglers, definitely, if you're soloing it, takes quite a bit of time. Since the durability patch, those dragons take quite a bit of time to actually kill. Karma's rotated top to help out Kane in farming the Rift Road, so it looks like it'll be a trade of Dragon for Rift Road, which is a pretty common cross map in the early game for both of the junglers. Blaine at this point in the game has a pretty sizable gold lead of about 4,000 gold within these first 8 minutes, so a solid lead for them moving into the kind of mid-game portion. Warwick runs, maybe applies an ultimate onto Orianna. Ooh, Sylas connects all of his abilities, but not quite enough damage in order to kill Orianna. And the account walks away from that one if she with a base. Ziggs is pushing in bot lane against Kindred, potentially looking to get some of those platings down there, since Ziggs does quite a bit of turret damage with his passive. Yorick also is pushing top lane as fast as he can to apply some pressure to this Akshan, and he puts up his cage and gets Akshan's flash. Very nice. Warwick looks like he's running top to potentially try to gank this Yorick to bail Akshan out from this lane. And here he comes all the way around. He has no ultimate because he doesn't mid. So we'll see. There's the Ignite drop down. There's the cage. He walls your Warwick in. The Maiden's doing quite a bit of work. Warwick's getting pretty low. Oh, there it is. The kill for Yorick. Akshan's also getting very low, but he's channeling his ultimate. Ooh, and Yorick kills him just with a bit of HP left. There's a flash from Ziggs, also a fight on the opposite side of the map. Kane is flashing on him as well. Getting very low, and another kill for Blaine. Sylas looking for the 1v1 on Orianna. Orianna flashes away from the chains from Sylas. And now we are back top. Yorick farming some more turret plates with that demolish again. And he is getting quite a big influx of gold. Still having a solid performance this game so far with a 3-0-0 scoreline. He now has a 350 gold bounty as the Rift Herald is spawned bottom lane for them to also farm some turret plates on the bot side. And now looks like they might invade for some vision and or clearing of the camps in that enemy bot side jungle. Yorick ends up taking that entire top side jungle or that entire top side turret, excuse me, for that first turret gold, and Yorick has quite a bit of gold now in his pockets. I would expect he has his first item after the cases, which he does. He now has that fully built Hull Breaker. Very nice. Alright, Sylas is getting a little bit chunked out in that mid matchup. He's about 60% HP. Orianna finally getting to that point where Sylas can't really force the shove anymore unless he's willing to trade a lot of his HP. But Yorick is looking again mid. Sylas gets a ultimate from Warwick again. And they will get Orianna, but that is about it. Looks like both of the bot laners are positioning quite aggressively. Kane is down here, and exhaust drop down to Ziggs. And it looks like this will be a pretty quick kill. Another stack for the Kindred. Quite a big gold lead now for Blaine. They're in a pretty commanding position in this game. Another E connects on to the farm, but the Q does not connect. The root potentially coming in. Orianna's TPing back to midwave. Akshan E-ing away from the Yorick. The Yorick now quite tanky. Pretty hard to chew through as the Akshan without having a mythic yet. And now Kindred is wailing on that bot turret. And we should be able to take that entire turret forward. The turret falls. Both of the outer turrets on the side lanes for Blaine have now dropped. Large influx of gold for both Yorick and for Kindred. And now Orianna blows her ultimate on Sylas, and that will be a solo kill. Very well done. Promise here to bully Warwick out of his jungle, not let him farm a single camp. Yorick is taking those top prugs. Akshan tried to mess with them, and Yorick said, "Not today, buddy. Those prugs are mine." And now, pushing the wave into the Ziggs mid lane. Mid is now the only outer turret for Blaine that still stands against them from starting to hit those inner turrets. And I would expect the next big fight happens over the dragon that will be spawning in about a minute or so. As everyone from Blaine takes a recall, and they move back out towards the dragon that is spawning. Kindred ends up taking a bit of that mid-wave, and Yorick is pushing that top lane turret. That top lane turret is gone. There's that inner turret, that Hullbreaker putting in great work for the Yorick, giving quite a bit of turret damage. As now both teams are positioning for that dragon. However, Akshan at this point cannot do much to this Yorick. This Yorick is completely unleashed in this game. Still having a great game so far. As Ziggs W's Orianna towards him, Orianna blows his shockwave on Ziggs, and Ziggs falls. Now Kindred going crazy on the Sylas, flashes in on top of him. And Sylas hits on his ultimate from Warwick, but not enough damage to take down Kindred. As they pick up another kill for their trouble. The dragon was also secured while we were watching top for Blaine, so Blaine now has that M-Tech Drake. And Blaine is up a solid 10k gold. This is quite a big gold lead.
Trace to your heart's content.
Looks like Kindred will end up pushing in this mid wave after the fight, potentially get some damage on that turret, as Orianna also goes back to push in the bot wave as well. Yorick heads back onto the map. I would expect that Rift Herald would be the next focus for Blaine. As Orianna pushes out that bot wave, probably takes a recall fairly soon, and then either heads back bot or maybe potentially back mid if they want to fight some more. They take this Scuttle Crab to outside of vision for the Rift Herald. Very nicely done. Clear out that control ward. And Yorick is going in. It is 1v4. However, Akshan is already put to 20% HP before anything really starts. Oh, and Warwick is getting really low now too. He's at about 20% HP as well. They are still looking for this fight potentially from the Library. Akshan is invisible, positioning around that Rift Herald, seeing what they can do. Orianna has continued to push bot. She did not take a recall. She's wailing on that bot turret now. And running through the walls. More than pieces the PW with his ultimate. But the gold lead is just too immense. Another kill. And another kill. Double kill for the Kayn. It flashes away but still gets moved. Potentially another kill for the Kayn. Nope, a kill for the Yorick. Dale is now 4-0-1 on the Yorick. And there's 3-0-3 on the Kayn. A very commanding gold lead now, 33,000 to 16,000. Blaine is in a very strong spot for the rest of this game. I expect they look at that Rift Herald next, which, yep, is already on it. Starting to hit that Herald. Use it to break down some additional turrets in this mid game. As Yorick continues to split using that Soul Breaker. Yorick has become so strong that they now have to send 2 people top in order to try to stop him from pushing in. Which Dale recognizes that this isn't very GP at the moment, as a fight breaks out over Herald. I believe that Kayn did still get it. As Warwick has died trying to steal it. Solid attempt, but not today.
Page.
Very nice. Alright. Blaine continuing to push their advantage as they move into the top side of Barry's jungle, taking away the red buff. Very nice pickup for Kindred. I think that may be stack. Yes, it was. As Kayn continues to push away both the Akshan and the Blades from entering. And then starts looking at the mid lane to try to push in on this mid-lane turret. Spawning the Rift Herald, they really want to take this entire turret if they can on this push. They move on reinforcement, knock up one from Big Six dies instantly. Blue goes in with his ultimate, kills Sylas, very nice. An ultimate from Warwick drops. Blaine getting really low, flashes away. Ooh, and Akshan has revived the Sylas. Akshan though dies from Kindred, as Kindred continues to dive under the turret and gets another stack. 6-0-4 on this Kindred at this point, very nice. Good performance from Caleb this game. As Sylas continues to try to trade back and clear this wave from the mid turret, uses the stolen Kayn ultimate on Karma, but it is not enough. Dale, meanwhile, while all this is going on, has been pushing top and took the entire turret himself, and is now wailing on the Nexus turrets. The rest of the team is now playing to the mid-inner turret, as Dale has destroyed one Nexus turret and is now looking at the other one. Ziggs gets trapped in, and Ziggs is gone as Dale walks away, trying to get away from the rest of the Destroyer squad. But, ooh, and Dale finally dies. That is quite a big shutdown going to the auction, but a big influx of gold. As the next dragon is spawning, which looks like Blaine will start it up right away. Kayn, Karma, and Orianna all together taking that dragon. Should be secured fairly easily, nothing else is contesting. they clean up Scuttle Crab. I imagine they'll clean up the bot mid waves, and potentially now look to end the game very soon with quite a big advantage. They're up about 20,000 gold, which is almost insurmountable at this point in the game, but we will see what Eden Prairie can do. So TP's back top and continues to push in that late wave as all of Eden Prairie comes up there. The wave has drops. Looks like they may die here as he is taken down again by the Akshan. They got a little anxious trying to end the game, but it looks like the rest of lane will end up taking the other two inhibitors that are still on the map. As the mid inhib is about to fall. There it goes. And now I would imagine Blaine is looking bots to get this final inhib down. Or they may back up and look for Baron, which looks like maybe what they're looking for. King continues to clear all of Eden Prairie's topside jungle. Unfortunately, Warwick has not gotten the farm in about the last 15 minutes. So he is quite a bit down in terms of building experience. As they're looking to just push in this mid wave, potentially just force end the game right here. Both teams positioned quite aggressively. York is coming back from base. I would imagine once York gets here, it'll be almost lights out for Super Minion Wave from him. A 3-man knockup lane for Kingdom. Gloriano points from the rest of them. Two of them are already dead. Another kill comes in for the Kindred. And the last Nexus Spirit falls. And that looks like it will be the end of Game 1 with a clean victory. 24-5 in the final scoreline. Quite a good game put on by Blaine Esports. Now I have to go back and talk and draft for the players, so I'll hand it back to Cole, but we will be back with you for Game 2.